In today's video, we'll be going over roughly 10 more details involving the LEGO Star Wars Summer 2023 sets, some being very important and some being kind of small, as well as I will be going over a couple first looks at a few LEGO Star Wars Summer 2023 minifigure parts at the end of the video. Let's get into it. So welcome back everyone to another LEGO Star Wars video, and this is actually a pretty big one today. It's a very nice supplement video for all the other information we've gotten over the past couple days, pretty much involving almost every single set this summer. Like there's a little bit of extra detail for every single thing coming out pretty much, as well as, like I said, I'll be showing you guys a couple sneak peeks of the LEGO Star Wars Summer 2023 figs. There's 3 of them that have some leaked minifig parts, and yeah, let's get into it. First off, guys, this comes all from a Fluffy Sky 6 and It's Just a Joe over on Reddit. Those are pretty much the 2 people that are really kind of stemming all this, if it's not promo bricks. And right here we have quite a few new little pieces of information that I want to cover. First one being, guys, the Republic Gunship coming out this summer for $140. Of course, that's a huge rumor. We already know the minifigure selection. It was going to be Palpatine, Padme, Commander Fox, and 2 shock troopers. What was not confirmed beforehand, we did not know if it was going to be phase 1 or phase 2. Now I can confidently tell you guys it is going to be phase 2 based. And the most important part to take home about this detail involving the gunship is it will actually be the Coruscant-style gunship. So I'll throw a couple pictures up. It is not going to be a plain white gunship. 99% it's going to be a Coruscant-style gunship, which is going to mean a lot of either dark red or regular red on the outside, of the gunship, and then pretty much everything else being identical. The actual design of the ship, of course, is not going to change. It's not a police gunship. Some people have brought that up. It's guaranteed not a police gunship. It is going to be a regular LL or LAAT, from the Clone Wars in Coruscant style. Which, in my opinion, look. This is my video. I'm going to state my opinion. I know this is not going to be for everyone. I'm fully aware of that. I'm not expecting everyone to like this idea. But I have 2 things really quickly. First off, my personal bias is I'm very excited. I'm actually more excited about this being Coruscant styled or shock trooper styled than regular white, because again, me personally, and sure a lot of other fans in the community, we have the older white gunships. I've got 3 of the 2013 ones. If I really want to go and look in, and use a white gunship, I've already got some. So a remake of a white gunship, sure, it might be better, better build, better details, 10 years later. I'm very excited to get a little bit something different. So that is my personal preference. I know that's not for everyone. Second off, guys, something that I think that we should all look at the bright side of is I think this shows that something is going on over at LEGO, the LEGO Star Wars team, where, this is a huge, risk for them. This is a high risk for a high reward, them doing a Coruscant-style Republic gunship, like that, of course, they have to know, that's going to limit their market by a little bit, however much percent, 10, 15, 20% of people that just don't want to spend money on that. And especially with some of these people that say would go in there and buy, 4 or 5 regular white gunships, they might not want 4 or 5 Coruscant ones. Maybe they'll get one of them, to have in their collection. You'll be able to, carry their shock troopers around if needed. But this is a big risk, I feel. And again, I think we have to kind of look at it on the bright side and the positive side. They're doing a Coruscant Republic gunship and a UCS Republic Venator within the same 6 months of a given year, 2023 here. In my opinion, it just shows great signs for what to come. Hopefully it's not just an outlier, knock on wood. Hopefully more stuff continues. But there's the first biggest piece, though. And again, I do have a picture of Commander Fox coming later in this video, so stay tuned. Next up, guys, we have involving the Ghost. So yesterday I was going over, there's a kind of mystery, dark-skinned character, that's how they described it, that no one knows the name of, or, there's no official, we don't know what character it is. Now it's rumored it could actually be Zaire Leonis, I believe. He showed up in Rebels. I'll throw a picture up on the screen. He was one of the Imperial cadets that I guess is now back with, like, the Rebels crew or whatever. I remember him in the show, but I don't remember really what he did after the cadet episode. And he might be showing up in the Ahsoka show, I guess, and he might be that character that is in the Ahsoka ship. That's kind of what they're discussing over here. Next up, guys, 75364, which is that last mystery Ahsoka set. September 1st, 1,056 pieces, $100. Now we do know, of course, it's based off the Ahsoka show, and it will be heavily focused on the New Republic / the New Republic, like, Rangers, in the actual Ahsoka show. And all the minifigures will have blue and white pilot outfits, kind of like how we saw Zeb in Mandalorian Season 3. That basically, that jumpsuit, that pilot suit. According to everyone, there's no confirmation. Are we going to see Zeb in there? We're not too sure. We don't know what vehicle it's going to be. Some people were kind of saying it could be, this is kind of just like a shot in the dark. it could be $100 Y-Wing, and you give us a couple pilots, give us Zeb, kind of like how they did the Rogue One Y-Wing back in 2017. And they gave us Moroff in there, which was kind of a bulkier character, how Zeb would be. But again, that is just, there's no validity on that. I just saw a couple people kind of bringing that around, and it does make kind of sense. I mean, maybe it is, but I think it's going to be something entirely new, just for the specific Ahsoka show. And so that's pretty cool. At least we now know, that's really the last mystery set here. We're finally down to it. I mean, as of 5 days ago, we still had 3, 4, 5 sets that were a mystery. Now we're only down to one of them. Next up, guys, a couple things involving the Venator. The UCS Venator coming out $650 in middle of October. The Rex has a bandage from the inhibitor chip removal. I kind of talked about that, but here's a supposed picture of what it might look like. 1414 Falcon fan posted this. I guess it's from the Skywalker Saga game, so it's not going to be like a one-to-one, but it could be pretty close and a good idea as to what we might see on the Captain Rex minifigure. Next up, guys, the Venator has mostly Republic logos on the sticker sheet, so I guess that kind of proves how they will do the actual kind of prints or the designs on the Venator. It looks like they're going to go the sticker route, which that's pretty crazy, because another thing I'll get into in a little bit, it's almost kind of contradictory in my opinion. I wish they would have done prints, and we'll kind of get into that in a second. And then, of course, the Admiral Yularen will be in his Clone Wars appearance. He's going to be the younger version, pretty much the version we see throughout the Clone Wars TV show. All right, guys, then next up here, this is kind of what I'm getting at. If the Venator actually has a sticker sheet, especially for like main important pieces, like those 2 logos on the side, I mean, if you mess those up, that's detrimental. I mean, that can make your Venator look terrible. The sticker sheet is gonna, sure, you can get a replacement sticker sheet from Lego, but say you wait and build it 3 years down the line, if you mess it up, that sticker sheet is gonna be $100 probably. So that's a very expensive mistake potentially if Lego does not send you a replacement. And this is where it kind of gets a little weird, because supposedly on the X-Wing, the UCS X-Wing, the buildable Chewbacca coming out, which again, we still don't have images or like really any news on that directly, but that's still coming out September 1st. Kind of a, the outlier. No one's really talking about it, but on that Chewbacca and also the UCS Venator, all of the plaques that they come with, pretty much this right here, I'll show you guys. You guys know, the UCS plaque, all of them will be printed for the first time ever. These, in the last 15 years or whatever, have all been stickers, which if you guys want to go check out a little video on my second channel, how stressful it was to put the sticker sheet on for my UCS Imperial Shuttle, it was crazy. It was like 8 minutes of stress. And, again, this was literally going to be a $150 mistake if I mess it up. So, that's a big plus. I got to give Lego mad props for that. Sure, it's something they should have been doing 10 years ago. But it also doesn't really make too much sense if they're going to go that extra mile and give us printed plaques, especially on the Venator. How are they not going to print those 2 big logos on the side of the ship? So that's my take on that. Then lastly, guys, one last little piece of information before we get into the minifigures will be actually the Boba Fett. Okay, the Boba Fett from the mech coming out again, $15.99. We have a Boba Fett and mech, also Darth Vader and Stormtrooper. Darth Vader supposedly is going to be identical to the one that we actually see in the Death Star throne room diorama, and also the Stormtrooper is just going to be the trash compactor outfit with just a regular normal new Stormtrooper helmet on it, so nothing crazy on there. But the Boba Fett will actually be based off of the original trilogy. It will not be one from The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. It's actually going to be based off of, episode 5, episode 6, whatever route they want to go, but that's going to be a very nice change of pace. It's been since 2019 since we got one, and, those are pretty expensive. Like, I fully admit, the cheapest one I think out there, I want to say maybe the 20th Anniversary Slave 1, version for, $30-40 right now. So this is going to be a very nice set. Really worth that $16. The only thing we don't know yet, will it have arm printing or not? Of course, that's kind of what everyone's all going crazy about right now. Like, we don't know, but everyone's like, no arm printing, and we riot. But at this point, it's like, look, like, I would assume so. And actually, I totally forgot. Now, it's a good thing I brought up arm printing, since I totally skipped over one on this list, is actually in the Ahsoka shuttle, Ahsoka herself and Sabine will both have arm printing. So what some people have kind of brought up, it definitely seems like all these Mandos, all these Mandalorians lately are getting arm printing. So you would assume on the Boba Fett coming in that mech, he would also include arm printing. But that's not going to be like a game changer for me, in my opinion. I think arm printing is definitely starting to become the norm in 2023. I think, it genuinely starts looking a little bit weird with some of these minifigures, like not getting leg prints, not getting arm prints. So I would assume so. But bottom line of it is, I think as is, from a fundamental standpoint, knowing that it'll be an original trilogy Boba Fett, just gives us a lot of hope at the end of the day. At that point, I'll probably pick it up day one. I probably will. Look, if it's a badass Boba, I mean, I'll pay $16, but, the Vader and Stormtrooper, those are waiting for a deep discount. But there's all that, guys. So there's all kind of the new little updates. I got to admit, look, there's like, 8 or 9 things right there, and all of them are pretty cool. I mean, none of those are negatives. I mean, think of, aside for the sticker sheet thing, other than that, everything right there, really kind of increases my personal hype level. So let's get into kind of the meat and potatoes right here. Probably why some of you guys clicked on this video. And these are confirmed right here, for what they're worth. Supposedly these are replacement part list, images where pretty much once you would go onto like lego.com, say 5 months from now, and ask for a replacement piece. I guess this is kind of where these came from, early. I guess these have been around since like February, but I've just recently seen these now. And we actually have a couple minifig parts for the new figure. So I'll start off with Harrison Dula right here. For some reason, these have X's in them. I don't know what that means, but we have a look at her actual headdress right here. You guys can tell I have an image of Hera next to her, kind of a live action render of her, where it looks like just the reddish brown hat. And then we have the black goggle prints on there. Kind of hard to see unless you like really zoom in on there, but the regular kind of goggle print is on there. Then we have the tendrils. I don't know what they're called. I think they're called something else, but the Twi'lek tendrils, I guess. I'll leave it at that. But so that's that. Then we have the headpiece for right underneath. Looks like they're using, I believe that's lime green. It definitely looks a little bit brighter kind of on the screen right now, but I believe that's just regular official lime green. It might actually be bright green. If you guys know your colors, like on Bricklink, lime green and bright green, this actually kind of looks more like bright green in my opinion, and maybe that will translate better to how she looks in live action actually, which she's showing up in the Ahsoka show, of course. So this is that. Nothing too crazy there, but at least these kind of further confirm, look, these figures are happening. Kind of further backs up these actual leaks themselves of the set, and at least it's just one more step in the right direction of everything we've been hearing lately to be, that 110% true. So here's Hera. Next up, we have Captain Vaughn. So I actually posted the helmet yesterday in my story. So this confirms, again, that the new 332nd helmets, all 4 of them, 3 regulars and Captain Vaughn, all will have the helmet holes in them. So again, if you guys don't like those, the older ones will, of course, retain a little bit of personal value if you think those are better, but the newer ones do have the helmet holes. So that's that. And Captain Vaughn does just use the exact same one, the exact same helmet. So all 4 minifigures in that set use the same helmet. The torso print form, as you guys can tell, there's a side-by-side here. The torso print for Captain Vaughn has his little, captain, markings on it. But other than that, just a basic torso. It's going to be the same basic legs also, from what I've heard. The exact same basic legs, and for the visor. So this is where it starts kind of falling apart here. The visor, supposedly, is they're just going to use a regular, non-printed, non-detailed orange visor, the same one that came on Commander Cody. And in my opinion, that's going to look pretty poor. I really do. I think if anything, if they're going to give us one of those visors without any print on it, probably what I'll do, I'll see how it looks, of course, once I get it in person, but I would think even like a dark red, a plain dark red visor from, the 2012 ARC Trooper Battle Pack, I would think that would even look better than just giving us an orange visor, because in my opinion, I don't think that would look too right. It's clear as day that, Captain Vaughn's visor is a much darker color than his regular orange on his helmet. And I think contrasting official Lego orange with official Lego orange just is not the way to go for his helmet. And with that in mind, again, it just kind of further proves, I don't think that set is perfect. I don't. Again, I see where everyone's coming from. 4 clone troopers, you're building up your 332nd Army, but if it's really going to be $28 or $30 for clone troopers for a lesser amount of pieces, than a battle pack even, so $10 more, less pieces, same minifigure count for, again, 332nd, that, helmet holes or not, I just don't think that's the Legion that we need 3 clones of. I really don't. Do we really need that easy access to 332nd over every other Legion? I personally don't think so. On top of that, then, Captain Vaughn using the same helmet, being very lackluster, no print on the visor even, it's just kind of strange. It really is. You're literally fundamentally getting 4 of the exact same minifigure pretty much for a clone Legion that I think is a couple years too late, and we don't need this many of. But there's my thoughts on that. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. Do you guys think Captain Vaughn's going to look all right? Do you think dark red would look better than orange for the visor? Moving on, though, guys. This is actually kind of a big one, since I'm going to show this. I'm going to go over what I know and what we see, but this could also tie into something else coming out, say, next year. So we have Commander Fox here. Again, this confirms, Phase 2 Fox. It will be a Phase 2 oriented set. I think it was safe to assume that already. But right here, guys, so we have the helmet and the torso right here. So Not too bad. Again, like from what we see, it looks perfect. Again, you can't really ask much more of an official, Phase 2 Fox. I mean, it's great to finally see it. I mean, man, it's been, 10 years. I mean, we saw Phase 2 Fox in like 2012 back in the Clone Wars, so it's fantastic to see. And this is one thing. So we have the, again, the replacement parts list images of the helmet and torso. That's all fine and dandy. Presumably they're going to give him a visor, probably dark bluish gray, maybe even black, but I would assume dark bluish gray. And then just a, I wouldn't even doubt the same legs as the Shock Troopers maybe, but maybe they'll do a little bit something different. And if we actually take our eyes to the right side over here, this image might look familiar to you guys. So this came out a couple months ago. This is actually for a Lego Star Wars mobile game, I believe, where they're not directly affiliated with Lego, but they do use some designs. Of course, they are, they have, rights to use these designs, of course, like, they're not being copyrighted by Lego themselves. So whether it goes through any form of the Lego design team ever, that's never been confirmed. A lot of people say it doesn't, but there's a possibility, because something like this, like if we actually look at it, sure, the one on the right side is a video game mobile render where you can kind of tell proportions are a little off, but if you look at it, I mean, it's the exact same print, helmet, print, everything on the torso and helmet, compared to the video game version. So if that might be an exact replica of the minifigure that we see in the Gunship, this summer, and then on top of that, so if we actually look at this, guys, so this is where it starts getting into a little bit of, this could be very cool right here. So again, take this all with a grain of salt. This has no sort of validity, but if we actually expand that Commander Fox image from the mobile game, you guys might remember this even more now. We have Phase 2 Gree, which looks identical to, back in 2019. If anything, the newer one would just have, helmet holes, of course. Then we have Phase 2 Captain Rex in the middle, which looks pretty close to the Skywalker Saga one. That could be a pretty much identical replica to what we see in the UCS Venator. We have Phase 2 Cody, which actually Phase 2 Cody has a couple slight differences, but for the most part, it looks pretty identical to the one we actually got last year. And then at the end, of course, we have Phase 2 Commander Wolf. So that could be coming, that's just one of those things where, look, tinfoil hat, you really think about it. If this image here kind of maybe did give us some hints, maybe a couple spoilers, a couple first looks at these clone troopers, that Lego is also sharing the same design with. So we might actually see, maybe we'll get Commander Green next year. Maybe we'll get Phase 2 Commander Wolf next year. And this could be how they look like. But, take that last part with, again, a grain of salt. That's just me, relaying the information to you guys. I'm just showing you guys this. Formulate your own thoughts and let me know down below. But that's everything for the video, guys. Again, this was actually a pretty fun video. There's a lot of stuff to go over. And I got to be honest with you guys. I mean, look, I don't say this too often. And you guys know, if you guys have been around for a while, I'm very, very critical of Lego. And it's just because I want them to succeed. I want them to do good. I want them to make, cool products. I do want to see, 90% of the fan base to love their products. Like, I don't want it to be split down the middle. I don't, you know what I mean? I want to love everything they come out with, because it's clear as day. Like, when I love something that they do, when I love a set, UCS Shuttle, Mandalorian N1 Fighter, UCS Gunship, all the type of stuff, I love it. Yeah, I really do love it at that point. I don't just like it, I love it. I get it day one. And that's what I wish, every Lego set was. I know that's not ever going to fully be the case, but just believe me, I'm on the side of I want Lego to succeed. And I got to be honest, this September and October looks to be very fantastic for Lego Star Wars fans. So leave your thoughts down below, guys, on every single thing we went over today. And I want to hear what you guys think. Are you guys liking it? Are you guys still mad? Phase 2 Rex behind 650 paywall. You guys, mad at that? Do you guys think Captain Vaughn's going to be a letdown? Do you guys like how the Coruscant Gunship will actually be red or dark red? Leave all that down below, guys. But that's everything for today. This video is probably getting pretty long, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys, and stay safe.